Hello and welcome to another edition of Facts and Common Sense. I'm your host, That Leaf. George Santayana, a philosopher from Italy, once said that those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. What he meant by this was that those who failed to learn their own mistakes will oftentimes repeat said mistakes over and over. And unfortunately, the University of Evergreen in Washington State has failed to take heed of such advice. Located in Olympia, Washington, Evergreen University is a public liberal arts and sciences college. And every year, the university holds an events known as Day of Absence and Day of Presence. What are they exactly? Well, according to the university's websites, a Day of Absence and a Day of Presence is designed specifically to teach the wrongs of racism and to support allyship towards one another. The university's Days of Absence and Days of Presence, which has been in effect since the 1970s, would work like this. On the Days of Absence, black students and black faculty be invited to workshops off campus to discuss the wrongs of racism, while white students and white faculty will be invited on campus to learn the same. And on the Days of Presence, the roles will be reversed. In response to the events of the 2016 election and the aftermath following it, the university had decided to do a 180. For this year, on the Day of Absence, white students and white faculty will be meeting off campus for the workshops, while black students and black faculty will be meeting on campus. And on the Day of Presence, the role will be reversed. One professor, named Bret Weinstein, a biology professor, had objected to this and sent a letter to Radisha Love, the university's director of First Peoples Multicultural Advising Services. In the letter, he actually said the following, quote, "There is a huge difference between a group or coalition deciding to voluntarily absent themselves from a shared space in order to highlight their vital and underappreciated roles, and a group or coalition encouraging another group to go away. The first is a forceful call to consciousness which is, of course, crippling to the logic of oppression. The second is a show of force and an act of oppression in and of itself." So, judging from Dr. Weinstein's writing, we can assume that this reversal of the Day of Absence wasn't really requested, but demanded instead. And naturally, when the SJWs found out about this letter, they went completely nuts. Forming an angry mob, the SJWs confronted Professor Weinstein in his office and in the University Hall, demanding his resignation and accusing him of racism and bigotry. And even though the professor tried to explain himself, they wouldn't listen to him. The mob got so hostile that his life was basically put at risk, and the professor had to hold his classes at one of the parks in the university campus. And of course, video footage of the confrontation was captured and then posted online for everyone to see. Channels like Andy Worski and others had seen the footage and promptly mocked and ridiculed the SJWs, calling them out for their garbage. 2 days later, the SJWs freaked out and demanded that the video footage be taken off the internet because apparently it was manipulated by white supremacists, which you and I both know is complete garbage. And it would seem that the university's misery continues to grow. On June the 1st, 2017, a bill had been introduced in the state's legislature by Matt Manueller that would essentially cut the funding for the school for 5 years. Not only that, but a direct threat to the campus's safety had also forced the university to shut down on June the 1st, 2017, and the school will continue to be closed on June the 2nd, 2017. An investigation is currently underway to investigate the threat, and while it may not be connected to the mobs that have been popping up on the campus, there is still a possibility that it is. So, to the students involved in the protests at Evergreen University, I have one thing to say to you. Good job, you morons. You've just proven that your university is a den of fools. You've obviously forgotten what happened to Mizzou University in 2015 with their protests. Because if you hadn't, you would have remembered that the school had faced budget cuts because they lost funding because of the way they poorly handled the protests. And with the budget cuts, they had to basically shut down dormitories, fire people, make program cuts for the future, and even raise tuition just to make ends meet. That is the future you'll be facing if you don't get your act together, Evergreen University. And did you SJWs honestly believe that you would be able to get the video removed from the internet because you demanded it to happen, because you said that the white supremacists had done this? No. You've obviously forgotten the one important rule of the internet. Once something is posted there, it stays there. Oh, and by the way, protesters, employers are watching these videos right now and are thinking to themselves, these Evergreen University students are acting like lunatics. I probably shouldn't hire them. Trust me, when you try to get a job later on in life and they see that you've went to Evergreen University as part of your education, they're going to take your resume and shred it to pieces or throw it in the garbage. Oh, and to the college president named George Bridges, you need to get your act together, because right now you're treading the path of Mizzou University, and it's not a good one. Trust me, you do not want to end up having to make budget cuts because you lost funding due to your own incompetence. Get your act together now. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight's video. Be sure to check out the links below for more information. And with that out of the way, I say thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care!